there's some serious, raw, unfiltered beauty attached to problem solving. Now, the older I get, the more problems I face, obviously. And I've started to realize that research and getting to the bottom of things, it shouldn't be reserved to only students. See, during school, I used to always hate when I got these big research projects or I had to figure out why something happened or get to the bottom of something. But it changes when the thing I'm getting to the bottom of, the conclusion helps me and what I want. Recently, I've been realizing that I run track, and there's this thing called lactic acid that kind of builds up in your muscles whenever you run really fast, and you get to a point where you get so much buildup that your legs just kind of shut down. And I've been researching and figuring out ways I can build my tolerance to the lactic acid at the comfort of my own home. Comfort being exercising, but simply not having to go out to the track and simply finding something that I can use to help me out. And it took a while. Sometimes it even takes years. I've had a jump rope for a really long time. I've been jumping rope ever since middle school. But something clicked. I realized that, I could have high intensity workouts with that jump rope and it would almost give me the same feeling that I suck at on the track. In my mind, I can keep building on this. I finally cracked the code. I can keep doing this and I'll get better. And there's so many other things like that that you can just get to the bottom of. And there's some true beauty in problem solving. See, I don't want you to ever think that just because you're too old or you're too late that you can't get to the bottom of your problems because there's beauty in that. See, I watched Interstellar yesterday and I watched it once when I was really little and I watched it again and it's kind of funny. It's almost like you need to watch it twice to truly understand the movie. So I was like, dotting the lines and remembering some stuff that I've seen before, whether that's in clips online or the movie I watched when I was really little. And there's a lot of problem solving sequences in the movie where they're just kind of putting Morse code or binary together to figure out the meaning of some signs they're getting. And it's really cool. It makes you just sit there and just in awe seeing them work tirelessly because, the signs and the clues came up and they're getting to the bottom of it. And a lot of times I feel like we just throw away the clues and the signs and we just give up on things. But I'm telling you, problem solving feels amazing, especially when it's something you love. For me, that's track and that's getting faster and bettering myself. And I know that if I don't take these signs and clues and try my best to research and sift through all the bad things and figure out a solution that could help me, I'm never going to truly have that feeling that I've always wanted. I can give up on it, yes, and go to something else. But if I give up on one thing that I love, who's to say I won't give up on a bunch of other things that I love? And when I see myself working and trying to get to the bottom of things, it just sparks a sense of ingenuity and just intelligence within me. It makes me feel important. It makes me feel like I'm valuable as a human because I have a brain and I just worked so hard and I figured out that this could be an answer to the problem that I'm having. See, if you're worried about self-worth, I think there's a lot of self-worth found in getting to the bottom of something. If somebody has a problem and you help them get to the bottom of their problem, you become all of a sudden more valuable to that person. And the same thing goes for yourself. When you have a problem that comes up in your life and you work, you research, you look online, you test different things with your own hands, and you just work to get to the solution that you want, and you get it, it feels great. It's almost like you're proving something to yourself, and you're successful at that. You're proving to yourself that you're smart, you're capable, and you're intelligent. And everyone needs that self-worth. Everybody. If you want to love yourself more, like I've been trying myself to do over these past couple years, I realized that you need to do some things that make yourself proud. I've been trying to love myself more and more over the years, and I'm getting a lot better at it. But one thing I've realized, the way to get that true love for yourself and almost spike it up like a graph where you just shoot up, is when you make yourself proud. And I simply do that by doing things that were once hobbies, but I can make it into passions, and I could even work it into a career or financial thing in the future, like posting videos like this one, podcasts, sharing my story, helping other people. See, when I see those numbers and the analytics, sometimes people may think it's all material, but I don't think so. It's proving to myself that I am capable of helping others, just like I've wanted to do all along. When I post a video like this one, or post a prayer video, or post any other type of content online, and people resonate with it, and they text me and DM me and they say, "Oh my gosh, you're doing great, man. You're really helping me out with my own problems." That's proving me, that's proving to me that I'm worthy. That's proving to myself that I should love myself, not only because I'm valuable to me, but I'm valuable to other people. And sometimes we need that. See, people struggle sometimes with self-worth and self-love, and sometimes people don't always have, you know, the other people that they can share things with, and those other people that can tell them that they're doing great and validate them. See, I don't want you to seek validation from others, but I want you to essentially validate yourself from doing great things in your own life. Don't know what that may look like for you, but there's plenty of ways to do it. One way is simply by working out, building yourself physically. You can read, you can build yourself mentally. You can simply adapt to the situations and the negatives that may come in your life, and you make them positive. See, if I'm in a situation where I'm lonely and I don't have as much people, I can maybe work harder on the things that I've always wanted to do, but I've always had distractions, maybe like videos or podcasts or sharing my story, writing, reading books. Those all essentially can be benefited by isolation. And I know isolation can feel terrible. You don't want to feel lonely. Nobody wants to feel lonely. We need that connection in our lives. But you can always use every situation you have to better yourself as a person. And I'm telling you, when you do that, you show your worth and your value to yourself. You can show yourself that even when I have a lot of people around me, I can not only be charismatic to those people, I can not only build those relationships and help those other people, but when I'm isolated, I can always show value to myself by working hard on the things that I want to work on. But there's a lot of distractions when I'm over in this area when there is a lot of people. See, I just want you to prove to yourself more and more that when you research things, when you get to the bottom of problems and you get those solutions, you come to those conclusions, it's honestly a great feeling that you can't really replicate. See, I want you to never think that you're not worthy or valuable, because your worth and your value, it can honestly become jaded, and you can fade away from your mind when you aren't doing things to better yourself or try to better other people's lives. See, simply whatever your hobby or your passion may be, I want you to work at it, research it, almost have problems come up in your life. When you do things tirelessly and you want a dream to happen, you're going to have a problem. Problems are guaranteed to happen on any path you follow, especially if it's a dream that seems almost impossible. But I'm telling you, when you get to the bottom of that problem, when you figure out your niche for videos that you want to post, when you're figuring out ways to interact with people, videos that you need to post, you're posting different videos over and over, and you post one type of video that reaches a lot more people like it, you get a lot more subscribers or followers from it. That's getting to the problem. That's getting to the bottom of the problem that you're having. See, problem solving can be stretched and seen in many different ways, but ultimately, problem solving can help you. And I want you to solve your problems. Get to the bottom of whatever you need to get the bottom of. I don't know what that may be, but I know that there's plenty of problems right now that you can get to the bottom of. Maybe you're thinking, listening to this, there's this certain problem that I've been having for the past couple years. For me, that was getting faster in track and having that lactic acid buildup, like I mentioned earlier. And I've even had years where I've had all the resources I needed to fix that problem in a way, but I never did. I solved that problem, or I am solving that problem currently. And I'm doing it with a jump rope and doing high intensity interval workouts. But the thing is, I've been able to do that ever since middle school. But it takes intention. It takes a realization that I'm tired of having this problem be present and I want to get to the bottom of this. And even when the problem isn't fully solved yet, getting to the conclusion or figuring something out in your mind that could help with this thing you've had for so long or this thing that just popped up in your life, you make yourself so proud. See, when I figured out that I could do high intensity training on my jump rope and get the same feeling that I suck at on the track, it came together. I'm like, holy crap, I just figured that out. Just like Interstellar, when I'm able to look at things and I'm able to use past experiences like my knowledge of binary or Morse code or whatever to figure out this problem that just came up in my life, that shows my worth. And sometimes we feel like we have to show that to other people. And maybe you can. Maybe you should. But you don't need to. You don't need to show anyone your experiences and your strengths and the fact that you're building yourself. You don't need to show them that. Because you can prove that to yourself. And when you prove it to yourself, it's almost just as good and sometimes even better than showing it to other people. Because other people will ultimately fail you. Other people will see the fact that you're valuable as a human and still turn a blind eye. And also when it comes down to losing things in life, when you have those problems that you can't solve, it can make you feel so worthless and useless and make your self-worth and self-love go down drastically. But when you've had those experiences in the past where you've honestly solved those problems, you've proven to yourself that you're intelligent, you're smart, you're capable, it honestly can, you can have those problems where you don't solve them and you come up short and you say, it doesn't matter. I'm still intelligent. I'm still capable. Even though I wasn't able to solve this problem, I've solved so many in the past. And the truth is, the only way to get to that point is solving your problems now. If you solve your problems now, if you solve 5 problems now that are pretty big in your life, and then you have a problem in the future, a year later, you remember all those 5 problems that you solved, and that can prove to yourself that I'm 5 problems worth of capable. I'm not 1 problem worth of a disgrace, because you're bigger than your problems. And I want you to prove that to yourself by problem solving, researching. Understand that you don't have to be a student in school because you're a student of your own life. You're a student of your own problems. And the research that you can do sometimes it can feel tedious. It can feel like you shouldn't do it. It can feel like it's just pointless. But I'm telling you, it is something about getting to the bottom of a problem that's been around for a long time or a problem that just popped up. It makes you feel great. See, my ex-girlfriend, I used to always help her with her car trouble because my dad has been a mechanic my entire life. And it was just great. She immediately had car trouble, and I don't even have a car. So I don't have a car to work on, but my past experience and knowledge of cars help her with her problems almost immediately at the snap of my fingers. She didn't know what to do. She had to call her dad. She's been used to having problems like this and having to wait forever, and I just come in and I swoop in almost like a Superman, and I solve her problem from prior knowledge. I'm proving to her and myself that I'm capable. And I was even joking around. I'm like, yeah, it's sexy having a guy, be able to solve your problems like that. And, we're not dating anymore, but I always think about the fact that I proved not only to her, but myself that I'm capable. I can solve these problems that have been happening for a long time, and I can solve these problems that are just popping up. So I'm encourage you to problem solve more. Prove to yourself. Get that self-worth, that self-love, that validation to yourself by solving your problems. Get to the bottom of the thing you've been worried or stressed about for the past week or even year. And when you get closer to that solution, maybe you never ever actually solve that problem, but when you alleviate some of that stress and you give yourself more hope. See, for track, I can do that high intensity jump rope like I'd mentioned, and it never truly makes me as fast as I want to be, but it gives me hope for the future. Understanding that I can do this every single day. It's really short. It's a 5 minute, 10 minute high intensity workout that can really help me. It's hope for the future. Give yourself hope for the future, because giving yourself hope and figuring out how to have that hope is beautiful. It's the beauty of problem solving, self-worth, and self-love. Validating yourself and not seeking as much validation from others is found by getting to the bottom of the things that you want. Things that you want that have problems. The big dreams that you have that are always going to have bumps in the road, because nothing's going to be easy peasy in life. When you get around that bump in the road, or you hit that bump in the road and you step out of your car and you're like, I need to reinforce my tires because there's going to be a lot of bumps in the road. When you do things like that, when you reinforce yourself, your mind, you reinforce your self-worth, you reinforce your self-worth and your self-love, you're able to go even further down your path. So problem solve, research, be a student of your own story, a student of your life, a student to your problems. Have research projects. Have moments like I do where you come back after a workout or something that, you didn't do to the best of your ability, and think hard, think what you could do to make this better. I've been doing that a lot more recently, and it's great because you can even search it online, figuring out how do I do this? Things I could do to fix this. It's amazing. But I'm telling you, don't always look online. Think, use your common experience or uncommon, rare experiences that are unique to you. Use those first before you look online. Try to see if you can figure it out just by thinking. And if you think and think and think, and you finally think, hey, I could try this, and then you try it and it works. That's what happened to me, and I want that for you. So, problem solve. Think. Use your mind, your intelligence. Be like me. A problem comes up with your girlfriend, and you don't have to look online or call anyone. You can just use your past experience and your knowledge. Use your past experience and your knowledge to try to solve these problems. You're going to have problems where you can't figure it out on your own and you need help from others. But there's something about figuring something out by yourself from what you already know that's just beautiful. I figured that out by watching Interstellar, and it just bolstered the fact that you can feel great about who you are when you prove to yourself that you're valuable, you're intelligent, you're worthy. So go out and solve some more problems. And whatever problem you're thinking about right now that I know is on your mind, think about what you can do to fix that or to make it a little bit better based on what you already know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.